People, good morning. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget as well to like and share the vids. All right, we haven't done a video in a few days, so there should be plenty to talk about. By the way, we hit 35,000 subscribers the other day, so thank you very, very much. Remember, the target was 40,000 by the end of the year. Not sure, but again, thank you so much to everyone that has recently subscribed. You know what we haven't done for a while? We haven't done a live. I feel like we haven't done a live in months. Anyone fancy it? A live this Saturday? I'm actually not working this weekend, I don't think. So if everyone fancies it, you know, tell me what you think in the comment section. Should we do a live this Saturday for a couple of hours talking about everything that's happened in the last few months? I'm thinking 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock start. Let me know if you guys are interested and I will do it. Because again, we haven't done a live for ages, and I might get some of you on again. You know, like what we used to do, where I put the link in and you guys can come on and have your opinion. So let me know, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock this Saturday live. What do you think? I saw Joe Joyce the other day. He came into the TalkSport studios, massive, just a massive mountain of a man. And you know, he's not massive where he's like muscular. He isn't that. He's just a big lump. He really is. He's funny because he doesn't really, they asked him to try and call out, you know, who do you want to fight next? And he's very respectful of it, but he does want to fight AJ. I think if you asked him, and not because of a monetary thing, but I think if you asked him, who would you want to fight next? AJ, Usyk, Wilder, or Fury? I think he would say AJ. So yeah, it was interesting seeing him. And you know, I'm sure his team will back this up. I did say I'm Team AJ. I said it. I said, look, you know, you think you can bash up AJ. I'm not quite sure about that. I said I'm Team AJ. So, you know, I didn't back down. I was tempted to because of how big he was, but, you know, I kept firm. I said, no, I'm Team AJ. Because he said something like he would like to go to Nigeria and bash AJ up. And I was like, whoa. I know Joyce's, I think Joyce's mother is Nigerian. I could be wrong, but I think it's the mum that's Nigerian. So I know he's half Nigerian. But I was like, whoa, 1 second. Don't you dare. Don't you dare, brother. But no, it's good to see him, good to see his team as well. And it's good to see him get the respect that he's getting as well. And look, I was slow in giving him that respect, but he's definitely earned my respect now, again, because that was a fantastic performance against Joseph Parker. All right, what's this? Deontay Wilder. I hold Alexander Usyk to be a man of his word. Wilder should just concentrate on what's in front of him right now, which is Helenius. Look, I don't know the context of what he said here. It could be he's being asked a question, but focus on Helenius, because I don't think that's easy work. I really don't. Should Wilder win? Yes. But Helenius is coming off back-to-back wins against Kalnaki, good wins as well. Wilder's coming off 2 beatings to Fury. And don't get me wrong, look, he's rested. He's been out the ring for a while now. He looks like mentally and physically he's in a good place, but you just don't know. Until someone hits you again, you do not know. I remember being at the Kid Galahad-Maxi Hughes fight on the weekend, and Kid Galahad coming off that big upset loss to Kiko Martinez. You're always thinking, okay, what's Kid going to be like here? And I thought he was very apprehensive, very nervous getting into the pocket with Maxi Hughes. So you just don't know how Wilder's going to react. So for me, if you're Wilder, look, I want to see Wilder Usyk like everyone. But for me, I don't think Helenius is going to be easy. And I stand by this. I wouldn't be shocked if Helenius wins. I wouldn't. In fact, that's a lie. I would be shocked. But it can happen. It can happen. It really can. But look, we'll see what happens. We see where all the cards lie in this heavyweight division. I feel like everyone is waiting to see what happens with AJ Fury. Then we can start making matchups, right? Fury's, what did he say on Monday? That time's up. He gave AJ a deadline of 5 p.m. on Monday. And since then, he's done a few videos saying, that's it, I'm moving on. When other people in his team have suggested, well, no, there's still conversations ongoing. I think Eddie Eddie quote tweeted a Frank Warren tweet, which is very rare because he never does that. I think Frank said something like, you know, the teams are negotiating, and Eddie says, yeah, that's still happening. So we'll see. I don't think, as much as Tyson Fury is the champ, the #1 in the division, he's not going to dictate to AJ sort of, you have to sign this or that's it, goodbye. He's not going to. Because what does Tyson Fury do next? I mean, what does he do next? I mean, we've all been hearing, and I tweeted about this, Manuel Char. I mean, are you taking the piss? Is that what's next? So if it isn't AJ, well, don't worry, AJ, we're not going to fight you. We're going to fight Manuel Char. So I think let's just chill out a little bit. There's a lot of money on the table. It's not a case of the contract going through to AJ by fax and AJ just signing it. No, it doesn't. AJ probably doesn't even see the contract. It probably just goes to his lawyers, his team. They have a look at it. Does it make sense? Let's do it. And I, like some people, think, okay, it shouldn't take that long. But, I mean, this is boxing. Boxing seems to be the most complicated sport in the world when it comes to these things. So let's just see what happens. But it certainly isn't a case of, you know, we move on because AJ doesn't sign it when you want AJ to sign it. And again, if you do move on, if the option next is Manuel Char, I think you maybe give AJ a few more days. And look, by the way, there are some things I agree with Tyson Fury. Like, this can't go on any longer. I mean, if we are sort of hearing a December 3rd date, something needs to be signed very quickly. I agree with that. That December 3rd isn't long away. Do you know what I mean? What is that, 9 weeks or something like that? It needs to be done now. It needs to be done now so both of these guys can go into camp and get this on. But again, if it doesn't happen, I mean, the options are bleak for Fury. They're not, it's weird. I mean, you're only as good as your options. Fury clearly is the #1 heavyweight on the planet, but the options aren't there. And remember, Tyson Fury, who's coming off a stadium fight, according to some good numbers on BT Sports box office, Manuel Char isn't that. Manuel Char isn't that. Manuel Char, I mean, Tyson Fury has some name value, so I'm sure it still does in arena, but Manuel Char is just not a big enough fight for the #1 heavyweight on the planet. You can't fight Manuel Char. You can't. There should be riots if he fights Manuel Char. So then you look at the options, and it's not going to be Usyk. It's not going to be Wilder. It's not going to be Hrgovic. It's not going to be Zhang. It's not going to be Chisora. It's not going to be Joe Joyce. It's not going to be AJ. What are the options? Who are we doing? It's not going to be Frank Sanchez. What are the options? So if you're Fury, just pause for another week, I think, and let's see what happens. If you're AJ and it isn't Fury, fine. You've still got that December 17th date, and it could be anyone. Like AJ, I don't want to say he's got a free hit, but if you're coming off back-to-back defeats, losing 3 of your last 5, you kind of can go where you want to go. Obviously not as far down as Emmanuel Char, but there's been talks of Otto Volin, there's been talks of Dillian White, who's now switched trainers. We'll talk about that in a bit. So there are so many different options. Martin Bakole, there are so many different options for AJ that I don't think people will be upset with. In an ideal world, it is Fury. But in another ideal world, it isn't Fury because maybe AJ isn't ready for that yet. So we'll see. We'll see. Fury's a bit of a joker, really. I mean, I don't know how... Look, I'm a Fury fan because of his ability in the ring, and I do think his skills outside the ring, like the way in which he sells a fight, he's talking on the mic is very good. But he also, I guess like all of us, we're all human, he's very confusing sometimes. Very, like honestly, it's gone from, think about what it's gone from in 5 months. It's gone from I'm retiring, I'm done, you know, I've got a family and wife and kids, I don't need to do this, I've made lots of money, goodbye boxing. Then it's like, you know, I'm going to come back for $500 million. 500 million and I'm back. I'm back for that one. And then, you know what, maybe not 500 million. Chisora, do you want the fight? Okay, no. Usyk, you just beat AJ, I'll fight you, you dosser. No, Usyk isn't going to fight. Okay, AJ, what are you doing? Are you busy? Me and you get it on. Not AJ. Manuel Char, you want to fight? It's just like bloody, you were retired. All of a sudden, you've literally gone through 5 fighters. It's very confusing. So if I'm Tyson Fury, I just pause. As I said, just pause, let your team handle it, and you'll get a big fight. But just not Manuel Char. It can't be. It can't be. A quick one on this one. Joyce, I mentioned this. Joyce wants... Oh, okay. Usyk next. Also calls out Fury, Joshua Wilder, and Dillian White. Yeah, look, we'll see what happens with Joe Joyce. It's going to be very interesting. Obviously, the WBO interim champion. Honestly, the thing about Joyce is the risk reward. And I've said this a lot of times. The risk is massive. The reward, I mean, do you get big money fighting Joe? I don't know. I'm not quite sure. I'm guessing, is there 7 figures in fighting Joe? Is there? Probably just. But the reward ain't that big. For the beating you're going to take, the reward ain't that big. So they might have a problem in matching him up with anyone. But we'll see. Dillian Whyte's name was mentioned on there. Dillian Whyte's obviously lost his trainer. He's now training with Buddy McGirt. Obviously, Buddy McGirt, in terms of other fighters he's got from this shores, obviously he's got Callum Smith, and Callum Smith looks so much more aggressive, like so much more aggressive under Buddy McGirt. I actually don't think, since Whyte changed trainers before, obviously he was with Tibbs, I don't think he's actually improved at all. I mean, think of the performances that we've seen since. So we've seen him getting stopped by Povetkin, the Povetkin rematch, which I don't think was a good fight, good performance, and then the Tyson Fury performance. We haven't seen much. So we'll see. There is a picture floating around of Dillian Whyte and Buddy McGirt, and he looks so much slimmer, Dillian Whyte. I don't know if you guys have seen the photo. Looks so much slimmer. I was actually, he looked so slim in that photo. I thought that was a throwback photo of them 10 years ago, like maybe just doing a session with each other. But no, it's now. Dillian Whyte will leave his training base in Portugal. He's now going to go and base himself in America, or at least for the training camps. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Is it a little too late? I don't know. But again, Buddy McGirt's a fantastic trainer. Dillian Whyte will get really good sparring out there as well. And this is Dillian Whyte's last little run, isn't it? Maybe not to a title, but last little run of having interesting fights. And I think, again, if he can soak up the knowledge and the boxing skill that Buddy McGirt will give to him, then there's some good fights out there. But I don't know if it's a bit too late for him to do anything with Buddy McGirt, but we'll see. What's this? Eubank Jr. on Ben challenging him. It's a big ask, but he has big balls. Not long to go. Not long to go. We've got so much to do next week in the build-up for TYSON and Matchroom. I think I'm doing a couple more sit-downs with both fighters. And we're doing a TYSON boxing show. They're going big on it. And credit to Matchroom, by the way. They've done a piece, sort of behind-the-scenes sort of doc, which I think looks really, really good. Like, I've always felt like the UFC is so far in front of everyone when it comes to doing those type of things. And I think Matchroom have almost done something very similar, and it looks really good. I voice over a few pieces, so obviously I'm going to say it's good. But no, I can't wait for this one, honestly. Both dads will 100% be walking them out. The noise in that place, again, in terms of atmospheres at fights that I've been to recently, the two that stand out, three that stand out more than any. AJ Usyk at Tottenham, Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano, but #1 by a mile is Josh Warrington, Mauricio Lara, Headingley, by a country mile. I think this one could top it. The noise in the O2 when Ben and Eubank do those ring walks and the first bell goes is going to be insane. Insane. I really hope that you guys have got your tickets for it. Obviously, look, watching it on TYSON is going to be good, but being there for that, even the weigh-in, I think, is going to be insane, just because of this, you know, Eubank eating burgers and ice cream and basically taking the piss. That weigh-in's going to be insane. Both dads are going to stare each other down as well. Boxing is a winner when it does things like this. Deontay Wilder embraces showdown with Ruiz. I'm looking forward to having a fight with Ruiz. We'll see. This is all talk for now. Again, let Wilder get past Elenius. Let's see what happens with AJ Fury. Then we can start getting serious on this. Terence Crawford expects Devin Haney to defeat Vasily Lomachenko. Maybe. I'm at this stage of Lomachenko's career. Maybe. The age thing as well. Father time waits for no one. I think we've seen that all recently, right? Watching Golovkin against Canelo. But obviously, Loma's not that. He's not 40. There's still very much a lot left in Loma. But because of the break in action, obviously, situation in Ukraine. Like right now, it should have been Lomachenko as undisputed. Lomachenko would have beat Kambosos like 100%. 100 times out of 100. But I don't know about Loma versus Haney. If you asked me this a few months ago, I'd have said, oh, Loma, absolutely. But Haney's getting better. And we haven't seen Loma in the ring for a while. So I need to see how Loma looks in his return bout. All right, anything else to have a look at. What's this? No point in talking about that. What is going on? Okay, so this is interesting. Sonny Edwards versus Felix Alvarado, IBF title fight set November 11th in London. Just happy for Sonny Edwards to get a fight. It was supposed to be Julio Cesar Martinez. I'm not quite sure what happened there. I spoke to Jesse Bam Rodriguez. He wants to go back down to his natural weight, which is Sonny Edwards' weight, and fight Sonny. He's happy to come over as well. So we'll see what plays out. But I'm just happy for Sonny Edwards to get a fight, because it feels like we haven't seen him in action for an age. Stevenson Conceição fight average 1 million viewers on ESPN, peaked at 1.15 million. I do wonder when he turns into, look, right now it's good, we don't have to pay to watch him, or Americans don't anyway, but I do wonder when he eventually makes that switch over to becoming a pay-per-view fighter, because he has absolutely everything, doesn't he? I mean, when you look at him, he's the one that you think will be the last man standing. Of all these guys, all of them, by the way, Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia, all of them, you think that Stevenson will be the best out of the lot. But in terms of that ascendancy, you do wonder, when will we have that standout pay-per-view fight? And it might have to be fighting one of those guys. Stevenson versus Tank would be incredible. Haney, Ryan, it's all talk for now, isn't it? I know that he's now in the lightweight division, but none of them fighting each other. So what does it mean? None of these guys are fighting each other. So him being up there is fantastic, but when are we going to get to see one of these guys go at each other? It's a joke. It's a joke, innit? Honestly, it's an absolute joke. Like, are we ever going to get to see these guys in the ring with each other? Like, it's honestly, you think about it now, it's been like 3 or 4 years and we haven't seen any of them fight each other. All this talk about Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Tank, like, oh, it's so exciting, the 4 kings. We haven't seen them guys fight. What a joke that is when you think about it. Even this situation now with Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, I mean, what a joke this situation is. Like, there was some talk about November 19th. Here we are, nothing. Nothing. And we're moaning over here about, oh, look, at least we know there is deep, deep conversations between AJ and Fury. Like, from nowhere, random. Fury calls him out, okay, well, let's do this. Let's converse, let's talk, let's conversate, sorry. I'm guessing there are conversations going on behind the scenes between Crawford and Spence, but the only problem, or that we were led to believe the only problem was that Crawford was on that side of the street and Spence was on this side of the street. And Crawford is no longer on that side of the street. Hasn't been on that side of the street for over a year. And we still haven't heard about Crawford Spence. Mate, at least over here we get them. We get the fights. Say what you want, we get the fights. Over in America, Jesus, man. Honestly, it's a disgrace. A disgrace. But we'll see. We'll see. Anything else before we wrap and move on? This is interesting. Look at this, is really interesting. Taylor Cattrall, the rematch. Date is in limbo because of building availability in the UK. It's crazy, right? Because in my head, there are so many arenas that you can put this one in that it will do good numbers. It doesn't even have to be up in sort of Scotland. You can do it down here, I think. But again, the problem is, I mean, they're having to compete with the Matchroom shows and they take up most of the big arenas, the AO Arena or the O2 Arena. Frank's putting on good shows now. They're taking up arenas. Sky and Boxer are putting on good shows. They're taking up a lot of the arenas. There aren't that many available. There aren't that many. So we'll see. And you wonder if it's, there are always arenas like Wembley and the Copper Box available. But again, even those, you'll be surprised about things that happen in those arenas. But I'm guessing the Copper Box is maybe a bit too small. What's that, 7,000 capacity? Same at Wembley Arena. So maybe they are looking at really only a handful that can take the numbers that I think will turn up for this rematch. It's a shame. That's a shame. If it comes down to the fact that we're waiting because of building availability, that's madness. That is madness. Oscar Valdez, I want to look for that world title again. This I like to hear, because if I'm Joe Cordina, obviously now that Shakur Stevenson's vacated the belt, if I'm that's the fight I want. Obviously, Joe Cordina supposed to fight Rakhimov. We wait to see if that fight's still going to happen. But that's the fight I want. I want to see Joe Cordina versus Oscar Valdez. I think that's a great fight. And then if you're Joe, you might then look around and think you've cleared up the division. Still some great names in the super featherweights, but you might then want to go to lightweights yourself. Remember, Joe Cordina has fought at lightweight. I think he was British champion at lightweight. So he really would like to go to that weight class. And I think the only reason he's staying around in this weight class is for a big fight. Oscar Valdez is your big fight. This, ladies and gentlemen, is madness. Floyd Mayweather versus Deji, exhibition set for November 13th in Dubai. What? What is going on? Deji beats, who did he beat again? Fuzi? Fuzi? I should know this, I was there. And that gets you a Mayweather exhibition fight? I mean, if you're Mayweather, you're just laughing to the bank, aren't you? You're laughing to the bank. He's going to get paid a couple of million. Like, in what world? Imagine this. Imagine someone telling you that 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 4 years' time, Deji's going to fight. Deji's going to fight Floyd. I'm not joking. I don't. It's mad, isn't it? I can't even get into it. It's just crazy. Deji, not even KSI. Deji is fighting Floyd. November 13th in Dubai. Might fly out there for that. I feel like I need a little break again. All right, anything else? Little bits and bobs, but time is against us. I do have the TYSON soccer show to film in about 45 minutes. So we are out of it, people. Peace and love.